If people listening to this are thinking, I might give this plant-based thing a try, what are some ways that you would recommend they get started?
Right off the bat, I mean, it helps to watch a movie like Forks Over Knives just to get motivated, because if you're already motivated, fine, you can worry about the logistics, but getting motivated I think is good, and just seeing those stories of reversing heart disease and preventing these diseases and just seeing what happens in the body is amazing. But then after that, it's a matter of figuring out, like, what are your favorite foods and can they be veganized easily? 90% of it is about whether or not somebody can cook too. It seems like that's usually the main conversation, is like, what do you know how to cook? What can you cook? Do you want to cook? Like what's your deal with that? And if people do like to cook, then it's a matter of handing them certain recipe books.
Sure.
There's so many good recipe books out there. And then if not, sometimes it's a matter of learning how to eat at certain restaurants. And like, we just ate at Panera on the way here, and it'd be cool if they gave you more food, but it's easy. You literally just have to go to, Panera.com. They have a vegan page now, or, download Happy Cow. Or you can just use happycow.net and see all the vegan restaurants and all the reviews all over the world. That's what you use when you travel, or any place, any city in the US too.
Man, that's another thing. My mom has just been going, like, not full Whole Foods plant-based, but like her and my dad have kind of been trying to go, without like killing themselves, without like making radical changes. They've been trying to eat as many like plant-based meals as they can. Every time I go over there, she's making something that's absolutely delicious. We just went to the Veg Fest last weekend up here.
Nice.
Tons of super good food. The thing is, I don't understand, like, there's all this delicious Whole Foods plant-based food that I think anybody would enjoy. None of it is on like a fast food menu.
Yeah, it's so frustrating.
And until you can pull up in the drive-thru and order something off the menu, which you absolutely should be able to, because these are delicious options. It's not a matter of like, well, the vegan food isn't good enough.
Yeah.
Like, the food's delicious. It's just, the convenience factor is such a, just moneymaker in the world of food and business in general, that until McDonald's has a vegan option, that tastes equally as good as the other stuff, it's going to be hard to get some of that stuff to become more mainstream. Right. But in this world of, everybody's preaching about sustainability and, health culture and everything, and it seems like that's making, its way back in, especially as we're learning more about, carcinogens and things like that. It's going to have to start getting posted on fast food boards. Otherwise, it's going to have a really hard time catching on and becoming mainstream, I feel like.
Yeah, this is such a hard thing. And there are restaurants in like LA you can go to, some of them that have like whole food vegan options in some places around the world. But that's like super niche of the niche, which is frustrating, because if you had like a fresh sweet potato lasagna that you could just pull up to a drive-thru and get, like, people would like it. There's a problem though, like, in terms of what is basically addicting as food and what is craveable as food as well. All these fast food companies have tweaked the recipes to be what is going to get people there and addicted and back. And it's high salt, it's high fat, the high oil. Oil is the most calorie dense thing. And some of it's also just about like keeping food fresh. Like, they'll douse things in oil. You can spray food. Like, there's an oil-free vegan buffet that they do at an Ethiopian restaurant in LA. And every once in a while, they just come with a spray bottle and spray it so things don't go bad. But like, this isn't how the restaurant industry works. If it's Chipotle, if you've ever seen them put the oil on the rice, it's just like, it's cups and cups, and then that keeps things fresh, and it makes it a little bit more craveable and more satisfying when people eat there, because it's more calories. And it's really unfortunate, because if we could just get these options quickly, people could easily go healthy vegan, not just vegan, but super healthy vegan, and get really dramatic results on things like cholesterol and blood sugar and blood pressure.
But your opinion about oil is out there sort of a lot, not just on your channel, but on others. But I think that's another place where there's a lot of misunderstanding, where everyone's heard that coconut oil is so amazing for you. You should eat spoonfuls of it, put it in your coffee. Surely olive oil is healthy because Mediterranean this and so forth. And certainly oil is not a health food, is a Mike the Vegan favorite.
Yeah, for sure. And especially with coconut oil, like, it's a scale. Like, butter raises your LDL, at least from a study. I can probably link below this if you want me to. Butter raised LDL, and then coconut oil was a little below that. So it raises LDL, which is bad cholesterol, because it has a super high level of saturated fat. and that's just the reality. And then other ones can create artery impairment just based off other aspects of them. And there's a spectrum, you know, how high omega-6 is it versus omega-3? If you get too high omega-6s, it can lead to inflammation. Then there's oils that aren't as bad, but no matter what oil it is, it's 9 calories per gram. It's the most calorie dense thing that people eat. And so in a world where most people are overweight and they would benefit from losing weight for their health, and they probably want to, oil's not something you want to include in your diet a lot.
Yeah, I think back to your point, what you just said. I mean, even just sort of hearing what Mike just said, I mean, I follow that, the omega-3 or the omega-6, but I can imagine the vast majority of the public's going to go, damn, I got to think about something else. Like, what's
that's like 6 months in, a year in, when you're ready to worry about that stuff, unless you have a severe heart condition, because that's where I got it from initially, was Dr. Esselstyn.
Right.
He says no oil in his studies.
No oil.
Yeah, no oil is famously shouting, that's because he is of the belief, based off his experience with patients, that he will not get the results, the artery reversal results, with that level of concentrated fat going through your bloodstream.
I think what it would take for it to become mainstream would be, you know, can I roll up to wherever and take it? You know, I mean, what if every restaurant starts having it? You know, you go out with your coworkers and it sort of becomes that. I think, you know, and where they're so right now, let's just say standard American food. I mean, so omnivorous food. With the variety of restaurants, there are ones we all know are healthier than others.
Yeah.
You know, so I feel like if it could be that analog, because I mean, people are, oh my God, it's going to be salad forever. That was the number one thing I got. So 2 years ago, you know, when I changed to whole food plant-based for the movie, I would post about it. And my thing was always how I did it was that I realized that what I really wanted was not the animal product. What I liked was the sauce. And most sauces are vegan. So I went through it in my mind. I really like Mexican food. Well, but what I really like is guacamole and salsa. Well, I can put that on anything. All right, I'm an Italian, red sauce. Well, I can make that deliciously. Okay, so great. Thai peanut sauce. All these sort of, and so once I figured that out, you know, it was sort of made it easier for that, you know, to kind of figure that. But then I would put stuff up there. I'd say, this is what I'm eating, and I would get these just response after response from people going, you know, it just sounds like I got to eat salad all day long. And I actually told you that once. And one of my favorite things you've ever said to me in person is you went, oh yes, the salad argument. I need to eat more salad.
Yeah, that's true.
I got Mike the vegan. Yeah. And then we went to lunch. And Lindy, who's off camera right now, we were sitting at the Argero Center, and you had a little bit of salad in front of you, and Lindy scoffed at your salad, and she was, and I still remember, she went, yeah, I'm looking at you, and she went, we gotta color that up, and all of a sudden she's taking stuff off of her plate, and like sprinkling this extra.
That's the story.
And I was watching myself, thinking to myself, you know, this is awesome. Like I wish Mike the Vegan viewers could see. And could see Lindy sort of coloring up his salad on the heels of saying in that conversation, you see, Adam, he wouldn't even be vegan if it weren't for me. So, you know, so there we go.
Oh, for sure. She deserves all the credit.
You know, but I do think that's the view, is that it's going to be no fun. It's going to suck really bad. It's going to be, I give up everything that I love, and it's just going to be salads and beaten kale smoothies forever. And that's why I think things like Impossible, things like some of the pizza places that, you know, even on an omnivorous diet, you shouldn't be eating pizza every day. And on a veganized pizza, no, it's not going to be something that we eat every single day. But I like the idea that those options are just going to be more and more so.
And I think that it needs to be marketed a little bit better as well. I think that people that are, you know, eating a lot of meat or eating a lot of animal products, the idea of even going to an all plant-based restaurant might sound off-putting because they're thinking about, well, they're not going to have anything that I want, you know. And I've even you know, my mom's invited me to like the Trumpet Blossom. My first thought was like, that sounds like boring, you know, because I know their whole thing is like, you know,
everything's vegan.
Everything's vegan. When it's like, wait, I know vegan food is delicious. Why is that my first, like, you know, knee-jerk reaction? I think, you know, if there was an all plant-based menu, everybody that's not plant-based is going to be like, oh, that's for those people, as opposed to, I should give that a try. You know, I think that it needs to be, like, marketed more subliminally, almost. You know?
And that's why I think, like, Burger King is great, because people are going there, and they're going to a place that they feel totally comfortable in, and they're able to get these options.
Yeah.
And I will say, I wish Trumpet Blossom gave you more food.
Yeah. Oh. Dude, I can't even. I'm so glad that you said that because, like, you know, I've always kind of been a fat guy my whole life, and like you're sort of tall and slender, and so when, especially when I was bulking for a powerlifting meet, my wife and I would often go on a Tuesday, which they have little tacos. I would order 2 orders because it was just not. It was just not.
And this is the problem too. It's like a lot of the reason people don't want to go to a fully vegan restaurant is because in the past comes back to the calorie density thing. They've had vegan options which just objectively had less calories. They might be used to be eating 800 calories at a meal, and then all of a sudden they're eating 400 to 500, and they get full because there's so much fiber in it or something like that. Their body isn't adjusted to it. That's a huge issue, and then people get a bad idea of vegan food, or they go and they spend too much money at a vegan place. But traveling around the world, I will say, you know, it's not going to be the people. It's the people that are open to it. But traveling around the world, a lot of these vegan restaurants are just packed all the time.
Nice.
They're the most packed restaurants I see a lot of the times. And
nice. And what you just said is actually where I was going with my question earlier about reasons that vegans fail, because I think you make a good point in your video, and I think it's absolutely true. You know, people go from eating, you know, 3,000 or 4,000 calories, and they're like, I'm going to eat vegan, and they eat like 3 salads a day, and their calories fall to 1,200 calories a day.
Yeah, and then they get low energy.
Right, my energy's terrible, and so then then they go to hell with it, and they eat a big old steak from Longhorn. They go, look how much energy I have. I'm a meat guy. Like I've got to have meat and more meat because when I tried that vegan thing, I just felt like crap.
Yeah, my body must just be designed for more meat. It just shows how manly I am. Like,
right.
That's why I would say the one thing I forgot with the advice of first going vegan is hopping on something like chronometer.com or some other nutrition tracker, MyFitnessPal, and just learning what foods have what amount of calories, and then just getting an idea and maybe just doing 2 days on there. Like that's all you have to do, and not to be restricting calories, which is why people usually count, but just to make sure you get enough, because there's people that go vegan, eat 1,200 calories, and are like, how could anybody do this? You know.
Right.